Okay, Temba, thank you first of all for coming and agreeing to chat with us.
Yes.
Whatever we're talking about today, I know is highly sensitive. I also know that given your history and given the information you'll be sharing, that we are touching on very sensitive topics. And because of that, we have agreed we will change your name. So your name is, for the all intents and purposes for this interview, will be Temba. We also agreed that your face won't be shown. And we want you to please give us the full story. Give us everything. Tell us what it is what can we do as normal people to avoid becoming susceptible to the crimes that we're going to speak of. Because your history, you've been involved in hijackings, you've been involved in house robberies, store robberies, invasions at offices, that sort of thing. Basically any types of robberies, armed, of course. I know that your past as well, convicted of murder. There was a murder that was in the history. You've been involved in crime since a young age, and I want to touch a little bit about that. So, where you are now, we won't give your exact age away, but it's 28 years that you understand crime, that you've been involved in crime. Okay, so our purpose today, and I really want to thank you for coming through and actually allowing us to unpack this a little bit. Our purpose today is to try to assist and provide information to those who might be susceptible. There's a lot of misinformation. We've become desensitized by the levels of crime. But I think I've been hijacked myself, so I understand in that moment, that fear that grips you is something that you cannot describe. No news report is ever going to cover the depth of an instant like that. So if you don't mind, I'll just ask if there's anything you don't want to talk about, you'll just say, look, on that, unfortunately, we can't go into details. Okay?
Right.
So tell me something, in terms of crime, because you've been doing, you are familiar with it. What are the things that make someone susceptible?
There's a lot of factors. One, for somebody who is involved in crime or who's taken crime as some sort of a career, if I might put it that way, one, being rich, to me, it's a crime.
Okay.
Yes, you just by the virtue of you being rich, then you are a target.
Okay.
Yes, we look for rich people, so to speak.
What makes a person rich to you? Like, how do you know someone's rich?
The neighborhood you stay in, the car you drive, small things, minor things that gives you away.
Like, if you had to look at someone just walking, like you don't see their car, you don't see their house, but they're out and about. Let's say you saw them at a shopping mall, for example. What would make you think?
Firstly, robbing someone or some business area, it's not just a random thing.
Okay.
So I don't just look at you and say, I'm going to rob this one.
So it's not opportunistic.
Yes. We do a follow-up. See, if you are a person of interest,
okay,
we will follow you. We will know where you live, where you work.
How do you know those things? Like, how do you know? I mean, how would you know someone lives somewhere?
We follow you.
Okay, so you follow.
Yes. Say maybe I see you at the mall.
Okay.
And I kind of get that feeling that you are rich.
Okay.
You are a person of. You have assets. You have things that might be valuable to me, that are also valuable to yourself. Because believe it or not, we know about paintings. Most rich people like to invest in paintings and put the paintings. We know about the paintings. So anything that is of value. So what I'm driving at is that we follow you. The neighborhood you live in, the car you drive, then it tells us that this is the person. And for somebody who's doing crime, I would say the rich people are the most vulnerable because they have things to live for. By that I mean a rich person, when you point a gun at a rich person, they are always calm. They say, okay, take whatever you want, because they know what you're going to take. I mean, it's insured, there's this and that and the other, but it's not the end of their life. But if by mistake or by some chance you target somebody who's just an ordinary, somebody who's not rich, they retaliate. Say, I want to hijack your car, and you have no insurance. The first thing that comes to your mind is that, no, I'm not going to lose my car, not today, not today. You're going to retaliate. And that often leads to fatalities, robbery gone wrong, where you had they were trying to hijack somebody and they shot him. It's because there was a scuffle between the perpetrators and the victim. So rich people, they are easy targets because they think beyond their assets. They think beyond what you're gonna take from them now. I'm not sure if.
No, I get you.
Yes.
But coming back to, okay, you followed someone now.
Yes.
I mean, even if you followed someone, they're staying in a nicer state.
Yes.
How are you gonna get their stuff? Like, how would you get in? How are you gonna get access to them? How are you gonna hijack them? How are you gonna rob them? How do you even know what's inside?
We don't know, but the area will tell you almost everything you need to know. Yes, sometimes you find that somebody stays in the rich neighborhood, but they are actually poor. They are just maintaining a certain status or whatever you might like to call it. But in most cases, it's very rare that you find somebody who lives in, say, La Messi, who lives in Shanga Ridge, who lives in all these places that are upmarket and is poor. You cannot be driving a 2-point-something million rand car. You cannot be staying at a house that, even though it's not cash, but you are paying maybe a bond of, say, more than 80 grand or more than 100 grand, sometimes 200 grand, and you tell me you're poor.
So, okay, now let's say I've got a nice home. Mm-hmm. I stay in a nice little complex estate. Mm-hmm. I've got security. Mm-hmm. Like, how would you get to me now?
Well, we have ways and means. They say money speaks all languages, and it definitely does. Don't ever mistake that. Even a fool, when he's got money, he becomes a smart guy because he's got money. So, most of the people that works like security guards, they are being paid peanuts.
Yes.
So, most of the time, those guys are able to sway. We are able to persuade them. Hey, they are able to give information.
So the security guards that I'm paying to keep me safe,
yes,
are the way you get to me.
Yes.
That's scary.
It's scary. It's scary, but it's a reality. Because you see, your safety you put your safety on a poor guy. Relying on a poor somebody to keep you safe, it's a trap, so to speak, because he is poor. He envies your life. He watches your fleshy life every day. Yet you rely on him to safeguard you. Yes, not all of them, but 90% of the security guard, when approached, they will give information. They know things. They see things that most people don't see.
Sheesh.
They know what time you go out of your home usually, and 99.9% they are accurate because they are always there. They see you going out, they see you going in, they see everything about your life, and so they are easy to talk to, and they always give accurate information at a good price.
Timber, that's some scary stuff. Tell me something. Home invasions. How is it that criminals always know? Like if I've got a safe, if I've got stuff in the house, if I've got cash under the mattress, how is it they always know where it is?
How do I put this? Say in your career, you grow every day. So as somebody who's been doing this for quite some time, you become aware. Say like when you look for a tracker in a car, now I've hijacked the car and the car is here. Now I have to look for a tracker because most cars got trackers. You know which places to look. You become aware as you do it time and time again. You become aware where to look for a tracker in a car. In a car of this, say, VW Polo, for example, we know where exactly to look. It's not always there, but 80% chances that most companies that put a tracker on the cars, they put it where they put the tracker on your car. It's the same place they will put a tracker on my car. So what happens is that most of the time, people who have safes in their room, they usually put it on the walls and maybe put a big mirror or a big picture, or it's either it's under the bed or it's mounted. But you know, it becomes a known secret sort of that, okay, in the house, if there is a safe, we must look for a safe. Because
how do you know there's a safe? What if there's no safe?
Then there is no safe, but we can't take your word for it. If you say you don't have a safe, we look for it.
And if you don't find a safe?
Then we don't find a safe.
And then what do you do?
You take whatever is valuable.
Okay.
You take whatever is valuable and then you leave.
Because, and then is there any information gathering that happens before you break into a house? You followed someone,
like I said
spoken
before,
to security.
Yes, like I said before, usually your house is not broken into randomly. Yes, it does happen, but 95% chances your house is not broken to, or you are not robbed, maybe a house robbery. It's not just a random thing. We have information.
Where do you get this information from?
People like domestic workers, the people who make your food, the people who make your bed, the people who are always on your house even when you're not there. They see things, they hear things, they know things. And mind you, They are domestic workers, most of them not by choice, but because they have to make the ends meet. So if you make them see that they might get a lot of cash.
What's a lot of cash?
It depends on, you don't tell somebody, because that will be a lie. If I say I'm going to give you 20,000 for giving me information on the house that you are a domestic on, I mean, that's not true. That will be a lie on my part. So you try to be as honest as possible so you can gain trust. I will give you your fair share of what we will get if we go in and find the safe. As you say, there is a safe. Have you ever seen the safe? Because some people have a safe, but only to find there's just maybe a pistol there, a gun, nothing else, nothing valuable. So have you ever maybe by some chance seen? If not, since we have had this talk, can you be able to place yourself in a position whereby you can see if they do open? Because believe it or not, domestic workers are invisible people. Sometimes you talk in front of them, not knowing that they are listening, because you don't think of anything else. You open your safe, she's around, so that gives you away. If she's got that information, then
okay.
Because it happens that maybe she's seen the safe, maybe not even one, but she doesn't know what's inside.
So if someone had a house, no cash, in a nice neighborhood. I live in a nice neighborhood. There's no cash, there's no jewelry, there's stuff, there's like TVs and those things, but there's no cash, there's no jewelry, there's nothing of value, there's no safe. Am I a target?
Well, being a target, sometimes, like I said, the neighborhood you live in might make you a target, but only to find that when we are inside your property, you are actually poor. You have nothing. Not even an expensive painting or what. You have nothing. Then it's a loss.
So from the, is there, like, you just leave, or
you leave?
It's not worth waiting.
You leave. There's nothing to wait for, because one thing you must know: somebody who's robbing or stealing, they make sure, or they try by all means, that in and out, the time you spend in there must be very minimal.
Minimum.
Yes.
Because your risk is high also of being caught.
Yes. Because some alarms are not the alarms that make a sound here in the house, but they report somewhere, maybe at the security company head office or at the police station. So you don't know. So you have to be in and out in a very short space of time. So if there is nothing valuable to find, then most definitely you must leave.
Okay, makes sense.
Yes.
Tell me, okay, I'm going to come back to some of the history.
Yes.
But where do you look for people? I know neighborhoods, but where are you going to spot? Like, do you just hang around, follow people on the road, or what's the...
If at times we will follow people around the rich neighborhoods, but what we found to be less time consuming and more accurate is approaching the security guards. It's approaching the domestic workers. You go around.
So in the neighborhoods?
Yes.
You walk to the security guards, you walk to the domestic workers?
Yes. Sometimes I will go today and go past, since he's maybe there on the street, because you might find that maybe the security guard is not for your house only, but he's watching
Okay.
The whole neighborhood.
He's a neighborhood guy.
Yes, he's a neighborhood guy. I'll come past, maybe give him a drink in the street twice too, and then wave goodbye. Just, Then maybe after 2 days I come again. Hey, you still here? Hey, I'm still here. Hey, your job is tough. Eh? Hey, and you will say the same thing. Hey, my job is tough, but it's not paying. Hey, okay. Or maybe you give him $100 or maybe $200. $200. Now you know that you have softened him up. The next time you're gonna come say, hey, maybe we can do something about your hardships and whatnot. Maybe you can stop sitting on the sun like this all day. He will be willing to listen. He will be interested. Then some of them will decline, but most of them don't decline. Say, hey, watch out for whatever you see that might be helpful, that might be useful, that might give us money. And then they are able to work with us. And the good thing about the security guard is that most of the time they don't always work in one area.
They rotate them, yes. So they're in other places also.
So you find that if you paid him good this time, when he's been moved maybe to another site or another place, then when he sees, now he's always vigilant now.
Okay.
He's always looking out. Maybe you gave him money that sorted out some of his problem, and he felt, now I'm rolling. So surely when he's somewhere else, when he sees something of value, or when he sees that this place could be easily robbed, then because now we're in contact, he's got my numbers, I got his numbers, we are like bros now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he becomes a source of information
yes,
forever.
He's always looking out now, even if you did not tell him so, but he's always looking out.
Because he knows he got paid from you at some point, so he wants more.
Yes. So that's how it happens actually.
Tell me so we talked about the hijackings and the houses. What about the store robberies? Because like people recently at a big shopping mall in KZN,
yes,
there was a robbery, and for me, it's brazen. In the middle of the day, people just walk in, they shoot up the place, they're stealing jewelry. How does this happen? And are you not afraid, like the police, you're not afraid the security is there, you're not afraid to get shot?
Nobody can lie to you and say, I'm not afraid. Everybody's afraid. I might have a rifle in my hand, but I'm afraid. But sometimes poverty can make you very brave at a point. Peer pressure can drive you to do big things. But coming to the issue of fear, that are you not afraid? Definitely afraid. Definitely afraid. But when you're determined that you need to put bread on the table. And I will say this, most of the people who do crime, they come from broken families. They come from being raised by a single mother, being raised by extended family members. They come from families that maybe are child-headed. So at times when you see that there is no bread on the table, and I must also add this, which is very important, and it almost happened to every black community. The thing is, we grew up seeing people who are doing criminal activities and seeing people who are living a straight life. You know, the scale does not balance. Maybe in your neighborhood there's a drug dealer. A drug dealer lives a fleshy life than the innocent people who lives an ordinary life. That's how it happens. You see, the role model is the most important thing on a growing kid. Who do they look up to? And what does that person do? It's most important. Because in a township, you find that a teacher lives in a simple four-room house. He or she can hardly make the ends meet. And then you find a criminal, somebody who's known in the township. Maybe he's hijacking cars, he's robbing business areas, he's doing all the criminal stuff, maybe he's selling drugs. He lives in the nicest house in the township, he drives the nicest car in the township, he's always got money. And the people, the innocent people, the people who live ordinary life, the people who do 9 to 5, who go early in the morning and go to work, when they don't have money for a bus fare, they go to a criminal. Now imagine as a kid, you grow up, you see that, okay, that man is a teacher, he doesn't have a car, he takes buses and taxis like everybody else, and he's been a teacher for a very long time. That mama from there, she do a decent job, but it's not decent enough. But that guy, he's a known criminal, and his life seems like it glitters to a poor person, to somebody who's young, who still wants to provide. Now, when you have to choose between somebody out of these two characters that I've just given you, I mean, a criminal is an obvious choice, because nobody wants to starve. Nobody wants to have nothing. So when you compare this life of somebody who's doing a decent job, but the pay is not decent, and you see this guy who's always hovering around the township with fancy cars, changing them now and then, and it's a well-known secret in the township that so-and-so is a criminal. But he lives a fleshy life. For me, that glitters, that's shiny. So you never go for a dull thing, you go for a shiny thing.
So that's, is that what started you on this journey?
Yes, and there were other factors. I grew up in Chesterville, one of the township in KZN. As I said, everybody who can afford anything that's nice was not a 9 to 5 person. And with that being said, politics came into the picture. But when I say politics, I need you to understand this very clearly. You know, when you are young, you gullible, so to speak. Anybody who talks nice, anybody who pretends to know even if they know nothing, but you don't know that they know nothing, you can be easily misled. So the issue of politics, where it comes in. At school, I was the vice president of PASO, a student body that was under PAC. And the things we were told was that the whites have robbed us. Our fathers, our mothers, us, we are what we are. We are poor because the whites have robbed us. And they have designed a system whereby we can't be anything else than their employees. And when you are young, you don't look on the flip side of the coin. If I show you this side of the coin, you don't flip it and look around. So you take that raw as it is, and it kind of fills you with anger. You kind of get angry. You kind of, when you see rich people, because when I grew up, there were no rich people in the townships. When you see rich people, you kind of say, they live a soft life because of our mothers and fathers' sweat and tears. Now, at some point, we have to do something about it. And when people whisper such insinuative statements, it kind of gets a place, because you don't have anyone who will tell you otherwise. Then that's where I say politics, because it was a mixture of poverty, a mixture of what we are learning from the people who at the time were telling us about politics. They were telling us about the PAC, they were telling us about the ANC, and all you could think of is, then something must be done. But how? Maybe let's take from them, because from what we are being told, or what the history tells us, is that our forefathers cows were taken from them, the land was taken from them. And you find that sometimes they were given a pair of boots, they were given a hat for a cow. And then by the time they wake up, they had nothing. So you can't go and ask for that back. You can never. So what do? Maybe crime, maybe taking from them by force is, so that's where I'm saying.
That's the rationality for it.
Yes, I'm not saying that that's what politics teach you. Since I'm an adult, you're an adult, you are able to flip the coin now. But what was presented to me at the time, or what I understood at the time, was that this is the way. I only saw one side of the coin, because when you are young, when somebody says something, your mind consumes.
You're impressionable.
Yes.
Timber, when we were chatting before we started, so off screen, you told me that you were involved in cash in transit robberies as well. I assume also, like, the guys who, those guys who go to the bank and they draw out money, etc. I'm curious, how do you know, first of all, that, okay, I think you answered it when you told me security guards, but I just want to confirm. How do you know, like, if I went to the bank and I took out money, how would you know?
It's simple.
At that time, how do you know? Because people get followed to their homes.
In your line of work, you do a lot of networking. You need to meet the relevant people, the people who enhance your career. So same as people who do criminal activities, you network. You find people, the bank tellers, you find people in the bank. Most people who are robbed when coming outside of the bank, it's not by luck, it's not by chance. Because you ordered maybe a day before that you want to take out because the bank, you can't go inside the bank and say, I want 300 grand now, and they give you now. Maybe nowadays, I'm not so sure. But during those days, when you order money, you want a lump sum of cash in the bank. You have to order today to get it maybe tomorrow or the next day. And the people who works in the bank tellers are aware. They know, somehow they get hands on that information that Mr. Pillay or Mr. Smith is going to come tomorrow and pick up maybe 300 grand, maybe 400 grand, or maybe less, or maybe more, whatever the amount. But they know that's where we come in. So that's when I say you need to network, you need to find people who are relevant, people in all the places that are of interest.
So that's your main thing. So how do you, when Mr. Pillay or Mr. Smith walks out the bank, how do you know it's him?
We give a phone to the person on the inside. The person on the inside will send an SMS that Mr. So-and-so has arrived. When you come out, he'll tell you he's wearing maybe a black suit, or maybe he's wearing this and that. But the description, we will get the description of what you're wearing, what you look like. Then we know.
So the guys who know what you drive, what you're wearing, what you're doing, that is the weak spot. So a normal person walking around day to day has a better chance.
But technology has helped a lot. It happens like that robbery you were talking about.
Are you familiar with it?
Yes, I'm familiar with it. I saw it. It was all over the news.
If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer, but do you know the people involved?
Not really. I've since retired from that life, if I might put it that way, after spending so much time behind bars, after leaving my family for so long. And there comes a time where you feel like I need to grow up, I need to be a better person, So I think I've reached that age. That stage is.
It's great.
Yes, has come to me that now.
Just on that, you were in jail for about 15 years.
Yes.
And you got out recently. And then I'm assuming your time in prison, that's when you realized it's not the way for you.
Yes, prison. It's either. We always say people who have been to prison, they know this. We always say prison will teach you two things. It's either you come out upgrading your criminal activities, or come out not doing any criminal activities at all. So the only two people who comes out of prison. You come out and you have upgraded because
you networked.
Yes, you find people. You have found people maybe who are doing bigger things than you have, who have more resources than you have, who have more information than you have, just to prove that to you. There are no informed people like prisoners. Prisoners are very informed. They are highly informed. They know of a crime before it happens on the outside. That a certain place is going to be robbed, a certain crime is going to happen. Before it happens, they know everything there is to know about criminal activities, but they are inside. So never underestimate them. They are well informed. They know everything. So it's up to you. It's either you've learned your lesson, you take a different path, or else you have upgraded. Because that's what usually happens. The people who are re-offenders, you find that his first offense was maybe something minor. The next time, it's something major. It's because he has networked with other inmates on the inside, and now he's upgrading.
Okay. What would you say the ratio is between those? So if you sent in 100 people into prison, how many would come out reformed like yourself? Or
It depends on the individual, because I will tell you this: prison is not a rehabilitation center. Unfortunately, when the prison officials and the high politicians talk about prison, they say it's a correctional services, it's a rehabilitation center. There is no rehabilitation going on. They just dump you there and you spend your time, and that's it. Now, there are no skills. That is why I'm saying there is no rehabilitation going on, because if you want to rehabilitate me from my corrupt ways, give me something. Give me something. Teach me how to do welding. Give me some skill. You can't just tell me to be rehabilitated and don't give me anything. Give me something that is a plan, something to fall back on. Because you find that, most people who have come out of prison, they want to change. But the reality on the outside, it tells you a different story. So that is why I'm saying, going back to your initial question, that the ratio, it boils down to an individual. It comes down to you. Have you seen what prison is doing to you and others? Are you willing to take that risk? So, for me, I'm not willing to take that risk anymore. But it boils down to the individual, because there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that the correctional service does for the inmates. Nothing. There is nothing given to you that maybe you can do this, or I've come out with a trade, maybe I'm a bricklayer, maybe I can do this, maybe I can do electricity and find a job. No. Even a simple thing like a driver's license will help somebody who comes out of prison a great deal. Say maybe the government and the Department of Correctional can do an initiative for inmates who are about to be released and say, okay, we'll give you a driver's license. You'll be trained. By the time you go out, you have a driver's license. You get to drive a taxi. There's a lot of driving jobs. That's what I'm driving at. So there is nothing that is given to you that will make you
change your life.
Or
leave crime.
So,
given the circumstances, just anecdotally, I won't hold you to the number, but
yes,
if they, in your experience, the people that were with you in prison for 15 years, the people that you saw, if you took 100, any 100 of them, how many would you say reformed? You would be one.
I would say 10 maybe, out
10.
of 100.
So at least 10%.
Yes.
So 90% go back, they do the same thing, they come back to prison if they're caught.
As we speak, 90% of the people who are in prison are re-offenders. And then 10% it's the people who are just the first time. So that tells you.
And the
it
people
paints
who
a picture for you.
Who are re-offenders.
Yes.
They've committed to the life now.
Yes.
They've decided this is their way. Are they the ones upgrading the guys, the first timers coming in? Are they the ones saying, recruiting, using it almost to recruit?
No, not really. Not exactly. But it depends on what you are involved in. You see, so like people who do robberies, they usually talk about their robberies, different kinds, and then how to go about. Like people who steal cars. You know, long time back, a few years ago, say, there were no devices to look for a tracker on the car. But the guys who steal cars nowadays, they have signal jammers. They have device that can find a tracker without having to tear up the whole car upside down. No, it's like it just tells them, okay, you can open, if you remove this, you'll find a tracker. So you find that a person who was stealing cars, now he's talking to other people who were more advanced than he was. Now we suddenly see that, okay, if I can find a signal jammer, if I can find a device that can find a tracker, like people who do fraud. Nowadays, they clone cards. They have device that they give to some people, like say in the airport. Airport, we have all kind of people going in and out. So you give the people who work at the airport restaurant, you give them this grabbing device. Say, if a person comes using this sort of card, and this sort of card, and this sort of cards.
What are the cards people look for?
Like the platinum card, black card, what else? What else? Well, it's not my field, but I kind of understand it was not something that I'll do. But you know, in the township, you know everybody knows who's doing what, who's not doing what. So they look for those gold cards, you know, those cards that shows that you've got money. And then before they swap it or on the speed point for maybe the restaurant, he's got that small device to swap it. And then swap it there on the device and give him. So it grabs all the information. Then they clone the card. Now you have two. Now that's technology now.
But with the chip now?
It still happens. It still happens. You know the thing about people who do crime, they do a serious networking. Like when the companies that came up with the tracker, a tracking device, they would swear at the time that stealing cars would be the thing of the past. But was it the thing of the past? No. Because the people on the inside give the information to the criminals.
So the weak link is the people?
Yes. The biggest problem is that people need money. Regardless where it comes from, people need money. So people on the inside will tell you, this is how to bypass this, this is how to do this is, you know. So when these tracking company came up with the tracker, they thought that nobody will ever steal cars again because they will be found. But it's still happening today. Whatever technology comes, and these people will always come up with a counter attack on that. So that's how it works. It's the networking.
What are the things, Timba, because you're reformed now, you were released recently, what are the things that you can do as a person to avoid being robbed in your home, avoid being hijacked, avoid being followed from the banks, etc.? What are the things you can do? What are the tips?
To be brutally honest with you, there are none. Except you have to always be vigilant. You have to always look out. That's it. If I tell you anything else beside this, I would be lying to you. There are none. Because people will always be robbed. Regardless whether you were flashing or not flashing your money, no. But there are no tips because you just have to be vigilant, especially if you know that you are rich.
If you're rich, be vigilant.
Be smart, be vigilant.
Staying away from people that can give information on you.
You can't be, I can't say staying away, but try by all means to be discreet, even to the people who are your employees. Try to be discreet. That's all I can tell you, because eventually it happens that you can't be shying away from everybody. You need an employee. You need somebody to help you with certain duties around the house. And you can never guarantee your safety while that person is there.
I wanted to come back to one that's very important because I hear it a lot. Actually, the first time I heard it, I got really freaked out. But if you go into a house and there's a safe, you see the safe, and they don't open the safe, to what extent would most criminals go to make sure you open the safe?
It boils down to the individual, to those people, but there is always a way to once the safe is there and the house owner is there, there's always a way to manipulate that person into opening a safe.
You can speak clearly. Tell me, what would most criminals do?
Okay, like I'll tell you, like, say like white people. White people love dogs. They love dogs more than they love their employees in most cases. So if you threaten to kill a white man's dog, a white man will beg you not to kill their dog, and they will open the safe. It sounds kind of ridiculous now that we are talking about it, but it's a fact. Most white people love their dogs. You just have to find a weak spot. You just have to find something that will mean more than
The safe.
the safe.
What would be something you wouldn't, not you, but like hardened guys who are still criminals? Is there anything they wouldn't do?
It depends. Like, give you example. If somebody tries to hijack your car, and maybe you close the window and they will knock the window with the barrel of the gun, and maybe it happens that you don't want with your car, you are fighting, someone will leave you and take it as a loss. Someone's gonna shoot you for retaliation. So it actually depends.
The individual.
Yes. Because one thing you must know, you try by all means to minimize the harshness of what you are about to do. Because you know, at the back of your mind, at the back of everybody who is about to commit a crime's mind, you always know that if I get caught, I don't want to find myself in a position where I cannot try to get leniency, try to maybe say, talk to the police. Like, practical example, I break into your house, I steal. Maybe while in that process, you come or somebody sees me and then I fight that person. Now it's a housebreaking, GBH.
Previous bodily harm.
Yes. If not GBH, maybe it will be turned to attempted murder depending on how bad you assaulted the person who was in the house. Now you see, you have made yourself to be in a position whereby you can't negotiate theft, because now there is also attempted murder. But if there was no attempted murder, you could negotiate theft. You could get lesser sentence. You could also maybe talk to the IO, investigating officer, and cut some kind of deal. So
just talk to me about that. So you go to the investigating officer. What deal can you cut with him?
They are humans. They need money, and well,
So you'd bribe them,
yes.
make the case disappear or softer,
Yes.
insufficient evidence.
Yes, as most of them will say, no, I can't make this go away, but I can make this.
Lesser.
I can put a cushion so you don't land straight on your behind. So there's this cushion, softer, you get a lesser sentence. Yes, like for when you negotiate your bail with an investigating officer, you give an investigating officer something in order to open bail, not to do away with the case, but just for you to breathe, to give a bail. So it's something that happens. It happens.
So there's no sphere you can't get to if a person is involved.
I said to you earlier, a few minutes after we started our conversation, I said, money speaks all language, even a sign language. If I say this to you, you know exactly what I mean. So money speaks all language. When you have money, you speak all language. They understand you. Everybody understands you. It's like, money is like music. I always put it that way. Money is like music. You know, when music, say, I love Oliver Mtukudzi, I don't even understand a single word of his music, but the rhythm takes me away, blows me away. I love Oliver Mtukudzi. He's a Zimbabwean, he speaks Shona. I don't know even to say hi in Shona. And so same thing with the music, as I'm telling you. Maybe there's an artist that sings in a language you don't know, but the song takes you away. So money is like that. Money speaks all the languages. If you have money, you can open every door. You can talk to the deaf.
So I just want to circle back to that. I know we touched a little bit on it, but what is the amount that would sway someone? Say, for example, like I've got someone working for me, and I think, look, I take care of my bills and I pay her well, you know, when I say well, I mean like if minimum wage is 5,000, I pay double, for argument's sake. Can that person be swayed? And I know it depends on the individual, but what is the amount, like the smallest amount that you've used to get information? Smallest amount.
The smallest. Food.
Food. Streetwise too.
Yes, you buy somebody food and drinks.
And they'll give you information.
Yes.
What's the most you've ever paid?
About 30.
30,000.
Yes.
So at most 30,000 will turn someone against you.
Somebody who earns roughly, say, less than 10 grand a month, and it doesn't even cover his expenses. By the 15th of the next month, he can hardly have enough money for transport to go to work. Now 30 grand seems like a lot. It is a lot.
It is a lot. It's 3 months' salary.
It is a lot actually, and it comes in a lump sum. So it is a lot.
So someone who's earning 20 grand a month, are they less likely to, or you wouldn't be able to get to someone like bank tellers? They earn decent.
Yes.
Some security guards, maybe they're getting 20,000 a month.
You see, maybe let's start from here. The problem with our society is that you find that you come from a family of 8. Fortunately, you are the sole breadwinner. And unfortunately, that becomes like a heavy cross on your shoulders. Because you can imagine somebody by their career or by their job they do, they are well paid. But only to find that the problems, the family where he comes from, they all depend on him or her. Now, that money becomes like nothing. So if, say, somebody comes, say, I'll give you 30, they will do it. Like, and it also had a lot to do with morals. Like you were asking what extent, and I said it depends on
the person,
yes,
the criminal.
The morals.
So criminals have morals also.
Yes, as much as most people not want to believe that because of what you do or what you've done, but deep down you're still a human being. Deep down you still feel for others. So
you have empathy.
Yes, the morals for everyone else. Like there was a story on one of the big social media apps, X. There was a story about a journalist. You know the Madlanga Commission?
Yes.
Yes, you listen to the Madlanga Commission. And you'll recall there was this police officer guy who's been under scrutiny for quite some time. I won't name him. And when asked, how did you get that information? He got how did you get the information that you've got? Because it's a sensitive information. It involves somebody, and that somebody could have been hurt by the fact that this was a confidential information. How did you get it? The information he got, he was given by a journalist. Guess for how much?
How much?
500 francs.
For 500 rand?
Yes. The journalist took a confidential information which also could put that person in danger, in grave danger actually, and gave it away for 500 rand. So the morals sometimes, yes, one may say criminals and morals, yes, it depends. It depends on the human being, because if you think a journalist, it's a respected job. It's
They
a
get
job,
paid well,
it's
well-ish.
over and above being paid. It's a job that demands high morals.
Yes,
because,
integrity as well.
Yes, integrity as well. So to give a sensitive information, a confidential information, for a louse 500 rand, I mean,
It tells you
it tells you that
the type of person.
yes, and it also tells you that sometimes money will make
corrupts people.
it corrupts people. Yes, yes.
When you were involved, you know, in this life of crime, were there people there that scared you?
Yes.
Tell me
Yes.
about it.
Uh,
And why did they scare you?
the people, maybe the victims or
The criminals.
the criminals. Yes, yes, there were guys that even at my lowest point, I would not go with them, even if they come and ask me, because I'm well known for being a best driver.
Bus driver.
Best driver.
Oh, you're a good driver.
I'm a very good driver.
Okay.
I can drive at 140, going the wrong way.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So it's a skill that most people who do criminal activities
They need
need. Once the crime is committed, they need somebody
to get away.
who will drive them safely and fast. So it's a skill that I am. So well known. People who knew me then, they know that if you give me a car, I will do the unthinkable with the car. So, but there were people that I knew that even if they come to approach me, say, because sometimes, you know, they'll come and say, hey, you've got this and that car. You know, when you're an adrenaline junkie, somebody, at those times there were Ford Focus ST. Those were the fast cars. Audi S3. Yes, those were the fast cars. So if they come and say, hey, we got an S3, we want you to drive for us. No.
But tell me why. What scared you about it?
They're brutal. They're brutal. Criminals are not the same. People don't know that. Criminals are not the same. Some people, when doing crime, they just want money and they leave. Some people, even if you give them money without giving them problem, they will still shoot you. And you ask them why. Because he was cooperating. Why do you shoot them? For fun. We'll give you no reason. Say, what's the problem with you? Are they related to? No, it's not about being related or not. We came for money. It's like others, when they break in the house and they find a lady there, they'll rape the lady. Now, what did we came for? Did we came for this or did we came for money? Leave the lady. We've got what we came for, let's leave. So, but some people, they're cruel. I know somebody would say all criminals are cruel. Yes, I will take that. But some are gruesome. They're heartless. So there are people we know that no, I'll never, because they don't just take money. Maybe a security guard that comes out with a box full of money going to the armored cars. He surrenders without any problem, but they still shoot him in the head for nothing. Why? He surrendered. He put the money box down. Why do you have to go to that extent? Why do you kill him? So those are the people, I'll never go with these ones.
So are there a lot of them, you think, or maybe?
Yes. There are a lot of them. You pick and choose.
The reason I ask is because, whenever I see crimes and children are hurt, I can never understand why
People are raped. Why?
Murdered,
Yes.
like severely and savagely, brutally hurt. And I can never understand what goes through someone's mind when something like that happens, where you're in a house now, you came to rob the place, but there's a child. And the child means nothing to you. I could never understand. I understand a guy who's fighting with you. You're fighting, sure. But what does the child do? Like this murder that happened now, 7 people were killed. An old lady.
See.
What happened?
Yeah.
What goes through a person's mind?
You see, I can't give you a specific answer, but I'll put it to you this way. When you are in jail, each and every single person who is behind those walls has committed a crime of some sort. But you know that even amongst ourselves, there are people we don't even want to talk to because of the gruesomeness of what they've done. People who do senseless things that are senseless. When you try to think them in any shape or form, you don't find sense. Like, give you a practical example. There was this one guy I stayed with on the inside. He will tell you the value of every single part of a human body. Now, what goes to that person's head, you ask? I don't know. And to be honest with you, I don't want to know, because he has crossed the line that you never come back from crossing. If you know the price of how much is somebody's eye, if you would kill for just to mutilate the person and take the body parts and go and sell them to the witch doctors, now you are beyond everything else. You have crossed the line that you can never uncross. If you can kill somebody and take a duvet cover and wrap that somebody with a rock and throw them in the dam, not to be ever found again, why? So I'm trying to paint to you a picture that
some people are really bad.
Some people are really bad. I'm not saying I'm good, but there are people you don't want to mix with.
Do you think some people deserve to die?
It will be hypocritical of me to answer that honestly. But when we are offset, I will give you an answer.
I understand.
Yes.
Okay. So, Themba, you've covered lots, and you've added value,
yes.
and I thank you for that, your contribution in turning your life around, that you're now trying to give back. If you were advising, if that was your role, to advise a person, wealthy people, would you be able to stop a lot of crimes happening? Would you be able to? So say someone,
Yes.
a rich person came to you and said, listen, Temba,
Uh,
come work for me. Make sure that I'm not hijacked. Make sure I'm not robbed. Could you do something like that?
Yes, I could, but most thing I will do that I'm good at. I can see somebody who's going to rob. If coming from a mile away, I will tell you this person is going to rob us, or this person is going to do something criminal. That I know. But to advise anyone, the only advice I can give to people, to rich people, is that love your employees. By saying that, I mean most of the people who give information to criminals, it's not because they want money so bad, but it's because the employer is cruel to them. Now they are trying to hurt the employer.
It's emotional.
Yes, it's not about money. Yes, they might have money, they will take money, but the initial reason why your employee has given criminals information about you, it's the way you treat your employee. I've noticed that in most cases. But if you are cruel to them,
they will give info.
yes.
But how is it? I take your point, and I
Yes.
understand that that would be a rational way of understanding. It's almost like retribution. Someone is getting something back because of behavior. But what happens in a case where the security works for a bank? For example, they don't know you. You've walked into the bank, you did what you had to do. They don't know you. Why would they give information? They don't know anything about you. You've never been cruel to them. So why would they do it?
Well, that's love for money.
It's love of money.
That's love for money. They see you going inside the bank, you come out with the bag. Sometimes, some companies, they usually don't time back. They're usually paid in cash. You know that it happens at some companies that they're paid in cash. So, say he knows that on the 15th,
Getting wages.
you always come
To pick up.
to pick up. So he's got nothing personal against you. He's
Opportunist.
Yes, he's just an opportunist.
So the first thing is make sure that your employees like you,
Yes.
but also make sure they don't need money.
Yes, but when I said love your employees, I don't mean to hug them or what, but just treat them decently.
Like human beings. I
Treat
think
them decently.
everyone must
Yes,
understand.
Yes, treat
them
them
like human
decently, because I noticed that most of the people who give information to criminals, they just want to get back at their employers because they are cruel to them. Not because they want money so bad. Yes, they will take money, but not because the initial reason for giving information. Some will even go as far as saying, you hear people just talking, if I had money, I will pay people to go and beat up my boss so fucking bad. You see, so that's how much your employer is resentful of you. So what I'm trying to say is, treat them decently. Treat them like people. That's all. I mean, that will not solve the problem completely. But the conscience it's like there's another person living inside of you. When you're about to do something that you should not be doing, or that is bad, that's when your conscience pops up and talks to you.
Tells you to stop.
Yes. And that's where you start now to say, Mr. Smith is very good to me. Mr. Smith always treats me with respect. No, he doesn't deserve this from me. Not everybody will be in that space, but
It's better than not.
Yes.
It's better than
It
Mr.
will
Smith
go-
treats me badly.
Yes, it will go a long way.
It helps.
Yes, it helps.
So, Temba, just going back, is there a quota for hijackers? Like if you're working in a syndicate, like this week we need to get so many vehicles.
Yes.
And now, so there is a quota, right?
Yes, there is.
Now, where are you going to find these cars? What's the quickest way to get these cars?
Right now, the people who still do that right now, it's much more easier for them.
Really?
Back then, it was hard.
So what are
Because
they doing now?
They have these devices, technology. They have technology on their side now, because your car might have tracker, but once it's on their hands, forget it.
So they have the information from the tracking companies.
No, not really.
Okay.
They have signal jammers
Okay.
that will jam the
The
tracking
yes.
company from the signal from finding your car. They have a device
That can show them where
that can show me in a space of 2 minutes to 3 minute tops where exactly the tracker is on the car.
yeah.
Unlike
The
back
old days.
then, you
But what
have
I
to
mean
look
is-
for it
What I mean is, where are they going to look for these cars?
everywhere. But the
What's the
easiest,
common place? Yeah.
the common place is the mall. Is
The
mall.
shopping malls.
Yes.
Okay.
You see-
Because,
you see
but
the
aren't
car
you
parked-
scared? There's security there.
No. You don't take it on a mall.
Oh.
You just wait until the owner comes in and drives out of the mall. Then
Or you follow.
Then you follow.
Is it easy to just sit in the mall and watch people?
Yes, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in the mall. You
So you're
don't know
blending
who's
in.
watching. You don't know who's looking at their phone. You don't know who's doing what. You are going your own way. Everybody's going their own way. Everybody's thinking their own things.
So now you spot a car in the parking lot, and then you just hang around the parking lot,
Yes, you hang around. You
and
wait.
no one comes to you and says, "Hey, what are you doing? What do you want?"
How do I put this to you? I'm sure before you met me, you had your own picture in mind,
Yeah.
and it wasn't pretty. So, what I'm driving at is that people who do crime, mostly they are smart, mostly they dress smart, expensive labels, expensive phones, and it's not easy for you to assume me otherwise without knowing anything. Even if it's a group of two, even if it's the two of us or it's a group of three. We're sipping some drinks, we bought some drinks, we're waiting, we're watching the car. It's not easy for you to assume. When people hear or talk about criminals, suddenly you create your own picture. Maybe this guy's funny looking, or he's ugly, or he's gut face, or you know.
You're saying so? Like people think they can spot a criminal.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't. That's what I'm driving at. You can't spot a criminal. You
I hear
can't,
you.
because they are smart.
They
people.
blend in.
And they dress smart as well.
So
And-
shopping malls, you're not gonna have any issues.
No. It's a public area. It's not like I'm trespassing. If I'm sitting here looking over there, what can make you assume that I'm looking at your car? You are looking for trouble.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that's scary.
yes.
What about banks? Because
banks?
obviously
You
they
can't sit around
Yes.
on the bank's parking.
Yes.
It's suspicious.
Yes.
It raises the eyebrows. You've been sitting there. No, you don't sit there, but you'll find maybe a spot. At times, In order for not to be seen as suspicious, you use a lady. We go to town. No, these ladies of the night. Yes, they are selling their bodies for cash. So if you ask her just to accompany you, or maybe two of them just to accompany you, not gonna have any hanky-panky stuff, just want them to be there. So they erase the whole suspicion mindset thing.
Okay.
You buy them drinks, you sit with them in the car, in the car. So it will not occur to you that a guy sitting with two ladies or two guys sitting with two ladies, they are onto something criminal. You see just people who are just hanging around with their girlfriends or whatever the case may be. But you can't just jump to that conclusion. So at times, ladies are used.
Okay.
Just-
So
just-
criminals are very clever at disguising and basically assimilating into the environment so that you don't identify them.
Before any crime is committed, in an organized crime environment, before any crime is committed, you even go down to a dress code. If you are going to rob, say, a construction site, people are paid on the spot in a construction site. You can't show up dressed like this. No. You need to have the
Overalls.
overalls, the boots. You need to be,
You blend in.
you need to blend in to do, not to be different from the environment you are going to. If you need to dress smart, then dress smart. You dress in accordance with the place and the environment you're going to.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Themba, thank you for your time. I wanted to know, you out, you just got out of prison now.
Yes.
Are you still involved in crime?
No.
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 And are you still invited, because people must know you?
Yes.
So do they still come to you and say, hey, we need a driver, we need someone?
Yes, they do.
They do.
Mm.
And what makes you,
But the younger guys, they come, they do, because they know my history. But most of the people that I was with back then, most of them are dead. Some of them are serving life in prison. So, yes.
So okay. What stops you from, because I'm assuming now that you're out of jail, it's hard to find work.
Very hard.
Very hard. So what stops you from taking these jobs? Because you know it's big money. You know the life.
I'm a family man.
Family.
Yes. I'm a family man, and I've got people who love me very much. I've got people who supported me while I was in prison. I've got people who respect me family-wise, so I need to give that back. Before I was arrested, I had money. No, I always made a mistake of differentiating between loving someone and money. So sometimes we assume that by giving people money, that's showing love. Yes, in a sense, but people need you. People need the emotions, not much the money. Yes, money makes the life more easier, but the fact that I'm there now, the fact that I'm here, so no. And I have to respect my family, you know. I'm matured now. It took me some time, but I am matured and I see things in a different light, and I have to give them the respect they deserve, and I have to respect myself too. And I've seen what I would not like to see again. Prison is not a good place. It's not a good place. And people die there every day. Not one prisoner died. A lot of prisoners die.
Every day?
Every day. People die there. You know, the day of reckoning for me was when an inmate died in the room.
In your cell?
Yes. Round about 8 o'clock at night, and we called the warden who's patrolling night shift. He came and he said, okay, I'll inform the superiors. You know, we had to stay with that dead inmate until 1 o'clock the next day. 1 o'clock in the afternoon the next day.
1 p.m.?
Yes.
From 8 p.m. to 1 p.m.?
In prison you have breakfast porridge around about 7 to 8. So we had to jump him over and go collect our food outside and come back and eat while he's still there. The forensic guys that comes and collect people who are dead only came at 1 p.m. And the procedure say he must not be moved until the forensic come. He must be exactly where he is, the way he died, he must stay there. So people, when a prisoner dies like a dog,
no one cares.
No one cares. In fact, let me put it this way. When I'm saying it's like a dog, that's very general. It's like a dog with no owner. You die like a dog with no owner. When you die in prison, no one cares. It's as if nothing happened.
And that was
when you are sick in prison, you are sick today and you are told that you must write down on the register. You can only go, say today it's Saturday. Maybe you can only go and see the nurse Thursday next week. By then, sometimes you are okay. By then, sometimes you're dead. You can't just get sick now and go to hospital now. Anybody who will tell you otherwise is lying. So there's a lot of things when you're in prison that makes you see that no. Is it really worth it? Is this my life now? I'm eating breakfast looking at a person who's starting to smell. Is this a life? So, you know, but end of the day, like I told you before, it boils down to each and every individual what you want. Do you have anything to look forward to? Lucky for me, I have a family to look forward to. They supported me, they love me. So they never judge me. So I have to respect that a great deal. By respecting that, I have to do away with the life of crime. So,
if you were in charge of the criminal system, do you think you would be able to cut down and maybe at some point get rid of this this habit of 95%
being
reoffenders?
If I could just give an advice to the powers that be concerning correctional services, give prisoners something to do.
An activity?
Yes.
Some sort of skill?
Give them some sort of skill. You can't say, I've stayed in jail for 15 years and I came out with no skills. I'm still the person that I was before I got out. By that I mean I did not gain anything. I was not given any platform
To improve yourself.
to do otherwise, to think otherwise, because the mindset alone, just to think otherwise, you can think, but is it doable if you have nothing, if you have no skills? No. So I would say, in giving them advice, give them something to do, because most of them, they come back because they were not given anything. They didn't learn anything, beside the fact that they are being there, but they were not given anything that, okay, this is a skill that you can use in order to try and make the ends meet. Because, believe it or not, some of them, I'm fortunate I had a family that supported me then, and it's still supporting me now. But the unfortunate part is that you find somebody is being released today. Tomorrow he's got to think about where he's going to find his next meal. Now, do you see how difficult that is? He just came out of prison. The next day he must think, because there is no family structure that can support him. Even if it's there, but they can hardly make the ends meet themselves. He's coming to add on that poverty that is there. He's coming to add numbers. Now he's got to think, how am I going to eat today? So
that's a difficult one.
Yes. So
what would you suggest? Like, what jobs would you suggest? If someone came and said, I'm going to give you 10 million rand, but not you. You're going to take this 10 million and create a business.
The government owns a lot of land. Farming is a lucrative business, although it takes time. Like, let me give you just a small example. The government owns a lot of land. The government owns a lot of farms. Why can't the government hire the inmates who have been just released and use them to produce food that will go to prison, instead of the correctional department to buy food to feed the prisoners on the inside? Why can't they hire? Because they have land. Land is not an issue. Now it's about implementing. Take the inmates who have just been released, give them a job at the farms, pay them as a form of rehabilitation, pay them. Not all of them will want to take that, but 90% have been there. 90% of them will take that. Give them a job. Some will drive tractors at the farm, some will plow the crops or whatever is being planted on that farm. But give them a job. Give them a job.
A purpose.
Yes.
An opportunity to make
in
money.
prison, I don't have the figures. I don't know the figures to be exact. But a prison spent a lot of money, or Department of Corrections spent a lot of money on feeding prisoners.
I get you.
They can do a huge adjustment on that if they can use the land the government owns productively, and at the same time rehabilitating the people who have just been released, who can't make the ends meet on their second day or the first day they've been released.
I get you.
Yes.
Themba, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.